Welcome back to Unapologetic Exotical content, where lace gets peeled, lies get revealed, and beauty and brilliance meet at the intersection of receipts and rolled eyes. Shout out to her, that girl, who inspired me to make this video yesterday. She said, "Girl, you notice they be lumping us in with unambiguous women so they can date us and not get clowned, right? You better read, prophetess, because baby, she cracked the whole Da Vinci Code with that one. This needed to be talked about. And if you know me, you already know, I don't come empty-handed. I come with the heavy receipts, the dusty contradictions, and the history books fully bookmarked. So now, I'm not copying, I'm expanding, I'm elevating, I'm dragging with evidence. These fist in the air, Malcolm X wallpaper having, dashiki in the profile pic men are not slick. They will march for reparations and then come home to their rice paper queen with sea salt body scrub and a baby named Zion, light as a lantern. This video is about how pro-Black and Pan-African male activists magically redefine Blackness every time they get the tingle for some butter pecan. Now let's begin with Consciously. TikTok's favorite lecture hall escapee. He preaches about racism and unapologetic love for Black women, but when his wife appeared in the background, real quiet, real pale, real not like the women he claims to advocate for, folks had questions, and instead of saying, "She's Black, relax," he hit us with, "Y'all jump to conclusions. Sir, she looks like if you press her arm, she turns pink." That's not jumping to conclusions. That's landing exactly where the evidence took you. And it's not new. Let's go back. Nikki Giovanni, poetry legend and pro-Black goddess, had a long-term relationship with Virginia Fowler, who is very much white. So all this decenter men talk got me giggling. Because some of y'all out here holding rainbow flags while still bypassing unambiguous women for exoticals. Next up, Andre Henry, who wrote an essay justifying his love for non-Black women while calling it resistance to patriarchy. Boy, if you don't get your colonizer cuddle pass revoked, please. That essay read like a sociology paper wrapped around a confession. Sir, you didn't deconstruct oppression. You just reconstructed your dating profile. He tried to remix "I like what I like" into a liberation anthem, called his romantic decisions radical, like falling in love with Becky from yoga class was a protest. My guy, dating outside your race doesn't automatically make you evolved. It makes you a statistic with a thesaurus. You wrote a whole think piece to explain why your soulmate looks like she cries during brunch and says, "I don't see color." And instead of just saying, "This is who I chose," you turned it into an academic TED Talk that no one asked for. Now, I'm not saying he can't love who he wants, but don't rebrand preference as politics. That wasn't resistance to patriarchy. That was resistance to being roasted. That was a preemptive strike before Black Twitter caught wind of your sun-kissed soulmate. And the funniest part? These essays never pop up before the relationship. They only show up after people start squinting at your couple's photos. Suddenly your love life is an act of rebellion, not a pattern. Suddenly your partner's hair color is part of the revolution. Sir? Revolutionary where? In her kitchen while she's making lemon water. You out here writing essays longer than the relationship itself. So, no, I'm not buying that. Your dating history is a political statement. It's a preference with a passport stamp. And that's fine. Just don't wrap it in liberation rhetoric and call it grassroots. Let's talk numbers because statistics don't gaslight. A 2008 Pew study showed 22% of newlywed Black men married outside their race. For Black women, just 9%. And yet somehow, we're the ones getting side-eyed when we ask, "Hey, why do the pro-Black men keep skipping the protest line and ending up in the racially ambiguous dating pool? Y'all doing backflips for freedom but cartwheeling into Cassie clones on the weekend." And it gets deeper. A Reddit post referencing research by an author named Hamilton dropped a bomb. 55% of light-skinned Black women were married, compared to only 23% of dark-skinned Black women. That's not a gap. That's a Grand Canyon with a lace front floating at the bottom. And you know who really knows this truth? Unambiguous women. A college-based study found that 96% of female participants believed darker-skinned black women were viewed as less attractive by black men, while lighter-skinned women were seen as the top-tier prize. So, don't let the online performative praise fool you. They were definitely part of that 96% who think darker-skinned women look less attractive. I literally told an unambiguous woman that I have morals and would never steal someone's man. This was during a conversation where she randomly said, I looked like I would take someone's man. After I told her I wouldn't do that, she goes, well, you may not try on purpose, but you might do it unintentionally. Like, what? So now I'm accidentally stealing men just by existing? Then she started ranting about how she hates other bad bitches who have surgery enhancements. And of course, she tried to compare me to women I look better than and who are literally out here trying to look like me. You're mad at surgery girls, but not the blueprint? Oh, okay. So let me get this straight. You're jealous of women who bought the look, but not the one who is the look naturally? Got it. The math is real foggy. Her logic was giving smoke detector low battery beeps. Let's talk about exotical men. Even the exotical men don't want unambiguous women. Frederick Douglass married a white woman after his first wife died. That scandal had folks choking on their abolitionist pamphlets. And Thurgood Marshall, the same man who fought for civil rights, married a Filipina woman. Meanwhile, his public work screamed black excellence. Private life whispered Asian persuasion. Martin Luther King Jr.? Oh, baby. Before Coretta, he was madly in love with a white woman named Betty. His mentors had to step in like, Martin, please, we're trying to get you a pulpit, not a pitchfork mob. Malcolm X? Phew. That man had a blonde named Sophia during his hustler days. He paraded her like a trophy, before preaching about black unity and condemning interracial relationships. Even Elijah Muhammad, the man who founded the Nation of Islam and banned race mixing, was cheating on his dark-skinned wife with light-skinned and possibly biracial secretaries. Tainetta Muhammad, light as almond milk with a hint of mystery. Elijah had 4 kids with her. So much for purity doctrine. Farrakhan married Khadijah for decades. She's technically black, but let's be real. Sis got Caribbean fine features, soft curls, and she has that look like her ancestors arrived with baby hair already laid. His minister Ismail, vanilla wafer toned with a sprinkle of denial, holding on to the last few rebellious strands that never knew a curl pattern. I googled the wives of these ministers. Light, light, light. Every single one. Even Elijah's unambiguous wife was getting cheated on by high yellow honeys. My eyes are now wide open. These men talk the talk but walk straight into the arms of a woman that looks like she just got booked for a Pantene commercial. Umar Johnson. Girl. This man speaks about black-on-black unity so much he probably dreams in red, black, and green. But then he says, black women come in butter pecan, chocolate, and caramel. He made Blackness into a Baskin-Robbins menu just so he can include who he's actually attracted to. Meanwhile, he bashes weaves, but 90% of unambiguous women wear them. So who exactly is he dating, Umar? The wind? Oh, and don't forget, rumors say one of his baby mamas is light or non-black, allegedly. Social media already made a TikTok tribunal trying to subpoena baby mama number 1 to the conscious court, Tariq Nasheed. This man created documentaries about black history while allegedly being married to a biracial woman, and he used to date white women. Oh, but don't you dare call him out. He'll call you a Negro bedwench with his full chest while cuddled up with a caramel swirl. Kanye West? I won't waste too much breath. He's too far gone. But let's not forget, this man rapped, "Leave your behind for a white girl," then turned around and did exactly that. Married one and gave us 4 biracial babies. I guess he already left before the song even finished. And in music history, we got James Brown and Marvin Gaye, who sang Black Pride but cuddled up with the light, bright, and possibly non-black. Diddy, always shouting about black excellence while exclusively dating women who look like CoverGirl auditions. His kids are mostly mixed. His partners, light, ambiguous, and dipped in everything but unambiguous. Same for Nick Cannon. He talks black empowerment while spreading his seed across the United Nations. Babies with Mariah, biracial, Bray, white, Abby, Latina, and Alyssa, ambiguous. You got enough diversity to start a coalition, sir. Last but not least, Colin Kaepernick, rocking the afro, kneeling for the cause. But his baby mama, Egyptian American, so technically Afro-Arab, not black. The look says revolution, but the family photo says diaspora remix. They'll organize rallies for racial justice, then go home to someone who gets sunburned in the shade. Now look, I'm biracial. I know how this goes. I used to ride for the movement until I saw the hypocrisy firsthand. And now, I'm exposing it. Because when unambiguous men redefine blackness just to scoop up exoticals, they aren't uplifting us. They're using us to hide from judgment. She black too, see? No, baby. You just needed a loophole. And you know what? I've come to realize something about the black men I dated. They didn't just like me. They were high-key obsessed with my phenotype. I'm talking hair, skin, features, the whole exotical package. They would literally rave about my beauty like they discovered a new planet. I'd catch them staring at me like they were trying to memorize the curl pattern for survival. And now I see it so clearly. Some of them are so obsessed, they're trying to rewrite history just to justify their preferences. I mean, let's be real. Malcolm X changed his whole ideology, and I wouldn't be shocked if part of that shift came from fiending for the forbidden frosting. And Martin Luther King wanted everyone to get along. Oh wait, that was Rodney King too. Either way, I looked up Rodney's fiancée, and let's just say, she did not look 100% unambiguous either. And get this, there's a news story saying she found him at the bottom of the pool and threw a shovel to try and wake him up. A shovel? You mean to tell me y'all couldn't find a floater, a net, a neighbor, a prayer even? But you reached for a whole shovel like it was Mario Kart? Sis picked up a shovel like she was trying to dig up answers instead of saving a life. It's always the light-skinned ones with the most to say about beauty and blackness doing the most unambiguous things. Just like this Lashida chick. Nose so wide she could exhale and blow out a traffic light. Breathing in all that air, no wonder her logic stays foggy. Oxygen overload must have short-circuited the common sense. Some of y'all out here struggling to breathe and think at the same time, and it shows. So to all the pro-black men who keep their fists in the air and their preferences in secret, we see you. We've been seeing you. Stop trying to redefine blackness just to align it with what you already wanted. You're not being revolutionary. You're being ridiculous. And with that, you have survived another dose of unapologetic exotical content. Stay glowing, stay knowing, stay unbothered, and stay ready.